Warm greetings, everyone. On behalf of W4W Foundation, a think tank instituted as Citizens Collective, we welcome you to another session of Wednesdays for Water. The conversation today is on water toxicity and its impacts and treatments that are available. The objective of Wednesdays for Water is to engage in conversation with water experts, grassroots practitioners, policy makers, and youth to explore the intertwined issues associated with water and the possible solutions that our speakers are working upon or have worked. The Wednesdays for Water sessions have expanded since then to have more activities like Friday Waters and the Monday Munching with Women for Water. Besides organizing on-site water workshops, water walks and talks, seminars, special courses, conference panels, games, to continue the water conversations in various possible ways. Do visit our website, www.w4w.in for more details. My name is Mansi Bhargav, and I am the host for the session from W4W and Water Resource Council of the Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. In today's session on water toxicity impacts and treatments, we are grateful to have Professor Mamta Sharma, Dr. Suphiya Khan, and Sundarajan Krishnan as speakers. Firstly, thank you all for agreeing to share your insights on the subject, and welcome back Sundar as well as Suphiya to the Wednesday session. As we know, we are really struggling with water pollution all around, but what is that water pollution, how toxic it is, all these things will be discussed today, and what kind of innovations which have come across, what kind of perceptions communities carry, how do they look at the toxicity, and what is their acceptance to the solutions that scientists have worked upon. These are the things which we are going to discuss today. But before I invite our esteemed panel, I will just give brief overview of each of them and then put their biographies in the chat box so that we have time for their discussion. We'll start with Professor Mamta Sharma, who is an associate professor at the Rishi Government College at Alwar in Rajasthan. Dr. Sharma has done her doctorate in environmental toxicology from Indian Council of Medical Research. She has many years of extensive experience in teaching, research, training, academic and general administration, including being the district level master trainer for many other aspects and in-depth research experience in the field of environment, toxicology, microbiology, biochemistry, and biotechnology. She has also served in the armed forces in NSC and Rajasthan Education. She was bestowed with the Director General's Plaque of Honor for standing in All India Pre-Commission course at Officers Training. She has extensively written and has been expertise in monitoring studies on pesticides contamination, and has done many projects as principal investigator with leading agencies like UGC, ICMR, just to name a few. I'm holding her bio here and putting it in the chat box so that we can invite Mamta to start the session. Thank you so much, Mamta, and over to you for your presentation.
So, are my slides visible?
Yes.
So, hello everyone. This is Dr. Mamta Sharma. I work as an associate professor with Rajasthan Government, and right now I'm posted at Alwar, which is a small city in state of Rajasthan. A small thing which I would like to know and tell you everyone that basically I'm an environmental toxicologist. I'm a keen researcher, and from last 20 years, my whole work is totally on Vish Vigyan, on toxicology. So today I'm going to talk about toxicity in water, and I work on pesticides. कीटनाशक जो नाम आपने पहले भी बहुत बार सुना होगा, मैं उन्हीं के बारे में आपसे बात करूंगी. Definitely, Mansi, I can go bilingual or only English I should be taking care of?
Of course, bilingual is fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bilingual, trilingual.
Bilingual because I want everyone to understand what I'm talking about.
Please.
Thank you so much. So, actually, whatever we are doing and whatever we are talking about to save the environment is nothing to do with anything else except it's the life. ये सारा झगड़ा ही जिंदगी का है, न जंगल का है, न जमीन का है, न जल का है. ये सारा जो झगड़ा हम लेकर बैठे हैं बात करने के लिए, वो जिंदगी का है. I think Mansi is going to agree with me very well on this. Thank you
Yes.
so much. So let me start formally with my presentation. There is a quotation which I always start my presentation with. Everything and anything is a poison. There is none which is not a poison. The right dose differentiates a poison and a remedy. This is how we describe pollution. Anything what we add in the environment and it exceeds the limit, it becomes poison to us, poison to our flora, poison to our fauna. And this is here, we take it along, the toxicologists, we monitor the pollution in the environment. Okay, so we all have our houses and homes and we do cook for our children or our mothers cook for us, right? So we all go to the vegetable markets. हम लोग सब सब्जी मंडी जाते हैं और अपने घर के लिए अच्छी अच्छी सब्जियां लाते हैं. तो मैं आपसे एक प्रश्न पूछना चाहती हूँ कि जब आप सब्जी मंडी जाते हैं तो आप सब्जियां कैसे सेलेक्ट करते हैं? अगर आप मेरी बात करेंगे तो मैं बहुत सुंदर सुंदर अच्छे अच्छे एप्पल्स लूंगी. I will look for some very beautiful white cauliflowers and I will look some very beautiful green colored lady fingers, right? I won't take you much before. अगर हम 10 से 12 साल पीछे जाएं तो क्या हमारी सब्जियां ऐसी दिखती थी? नहीं. हमारी सब्जियां के तो न ये साइजेस होते थे, न हमारी सब्जियों के ये रंग रूप होते थे. They were very different. They were not very good looking. They never had a very big sizes also. So there is a class of pesticides. We call it cosmetic pesticides, which are sprayed in the field while the blooming is happened and the flowers were just happened and fruit is about to form. So they are sprayed on the field. And after some days or some months, you get very beautiful looking vegetables. Alas, I'm sorry to say, this has nothing to do with the nutrition of the vegetables. Only thing, they get added as a poison to the vegetables, which cannot be removed or which cannot be cut or which cannot be separated from the vegetables in any way. Whether you cook it, you cut it, you wash it or anything. There's a myth, people say wash it with the salt. No. How can you take a thing out of the vegetable when it is a part of their cell body? We all are made up of cells and every cell wall is made up of lipids. And all the pesticides are lipid soluble. They're very potent poisons. नहीं तो इतना बड़ा जानवर, if you spray a hit on a cockroach, it immediately dies, right? How can such big animal die unless it is a very strong poison? और उस खुशबू को हम 2 घंटे तक सूंघते हैं, फिर कहते हैं वाओ कितना अच्छा पेस्टिसाइड था, एक बार स्प्रे सारे कॉकरोच खत्म. But what we are adding to the atmosphere of a home? A smell having a lot of poison into it. So, welcome to the world of pesticides. आप लोगों का कीटनाशकों की दुनिया में बहुत स्वागत है. So, how these pesticides get into our environment? If you look into this picture, I'll just go back. If you go to this picture in the yellow color, the people have protected themselves. They are doing very localized spray on the field. Only they are spraying on the plants where pests are present. But in India, this is the scenario. The person is not, I just went to Hanumangarh. ये हनुमानगढ़ की पिक्चर है आज से 25 दिन पहले की. इसने कुछ भी प्रोटेक्शन नहीं पहना हुआ है जो उसके लिए भी बहुत खतरनाक है. दूसरा, ये ओपनली स्प्रे कर रहा है फील्ड के अंदर. कोई लोकलाइज्ड एप्लीकेशन नहीं है इस पेस्टिसाइड की. So whatever extra we are spraying or whatever even on the plants we are spraying, it is going down to Mother Earth. And from there, it is going into the groundwater. और जो बच गया, वो पानी के साथ बह के पानी में मिल जाएगा. And the one which goes in the environment, we have to inhale that. We have no choices. These are the places, these are the open market shops you see in the market. You buy, and our farmers are uneducated. They are not very much aware. That's why they are like this. So they spray. There's a place near Alwar, which is known as Tijara. So I go to the field, I stay with the farmers, I understand their practices, their cultural practices, how they are using pesticides in the field. So one of the farmer, we call it a big, what you call it? We call it parat, where they keep the seeds into it. And there's a lot of termite problem in Tijara. So they need to add only few drops to it. And in the front of me, he took the whole bottle of INREM and he added to it. And he mixed it with the open hands. And I said, only 2 drop डालने हैं आपको. He said, madam, इससे क्या होगा? इसको ना चिड़िया नहीं खाएगी. तो हमें फील्ड को ढकना नहीं पड़ेगा. Imagine how toxic they are making that seed, जिससे जो गेहूं उगेगा उसे हम मार्केट से खरीद कर खाएंगे. This is a small video which I have taken in Hanumangarh. Can you see the pesticide application? This is the present scenario of India right now. Hanumangarh and Ganganagar, which are known as like Annadata of Rajasthan, maximum wheat and all comes from there. This is the status. So water is a life cycle. Water cycle is the life cycle. What is the base of life? If there's no water, there's no life. We all agree to it, right? So water also acts as a cleansing agent. Even in our houses or anything, we say, oh, it's too dirty. We say that just wash it. Just wash it. So water, wherever water moves on, whether it's inside the ground or whether it is on the earth, it takes all the impurities along with it. And those impurities also have added pesticides to it. And once the pesticides are being added on the earth, they stay for decades. They have long half-life. So once the pesticide get into the water, we have no technology. There's no way we can remove pesticide out of it. I just take one incident. There was a lot of talk on the business grounds that this cold drink is very much contaminated with pesticides. Why not? Your water is also contaminated with pesticides, and those drinks are made from water. So if your water is already contaminated, you cannot have any cold drink without pesticides. Let's not talk much on the water. I'll just take you at 2 places. One is Mariana Trench and other is Mount Everest. I won't say they are impossible to go there. But yes, it is very difficult to go there. So when the samples have been taken from Mariana Trench and Mount Everest, DDT was found in that as well. So these pesticides have the capability of moving far ahead from their point of application, which make them very, very dangerous. There's another characteristic which makes pesticides, especially organochlorine pesticides, very, very harmful, is that they undergo a process which is known as biomagnification. जीव जीवस्य भोजनम, ये हम सबने सुना है. एक जीव दूसरे जीव का भोजन है, इसे भोजन श्रृंखला कहते हैं. That is known as food chain. So if it is applied in the water, I'll just take you here, it is just 0.003 parts per billion. But when it is being eaten by zooplanktons and the fishes, it becomes 0.04 ppm, from parts per billion to parts per million. And when it goes to small fishes, it is 0.5 ppm. And the small fishes being eaten by a larger fish, it becomes 2 ppm. And when these fishes are being eaten by raptors or the humans or other animals, it becomes 25 parts per million. So it undergo multifold magnification once we move from one trophic level to another trophic level. The poison is very scary. She is my hero. Her name is Raquel Carson. Raquel Carson wrote a book in 1960s, and she gave her name, The Silent Spring. She said that after some time, we will have springs, but those springs will be silent because there will not be any birds who will be chirping around it. उन्होंने ये कहा कि आने वाले टाइम में झरने तो होंगे, पर झरनों के साथ जो एक चहचहाहट सुनाई देती है हमें चिड़ियाओं की, वो हमें नहीं मिलेगी. क्यों नहीं मिलेगी? Because the pesticides which you are using in field, चिड़ियाएं क्या खाती है? चिड़ियाएं दाना खाती है. They are raptors which eat small animals. Both are contaminated with large number of pesticides. So when these pesticides get inside the bird, they interfere with the egg shell formation. And when bird sits on it, the shell is so thin, it breaks. So these pesticides have a capability of sweeping off the whole species from the earth, not one or two animals. She published this book in 1962. And after this book, US government banned use of DDT in 1972. She reported a study on bald eagle. Bald eagle is a national bird of US. At one time in 1960s, there were only 40 pairs were left because these bald eagle was eating the small animals which are eating grains and other things which are laden with pesticides. When this came into the notice of the federal government, they took a step and they came out with the Endangered Species Act and they banned their use in 1972, and it saved two species. One was peregrine falcons and other was bald eagle. And right now, if you go to Georgia, you will see beautiful bald eagles flying in the sky. Just because we stopped the use of pesticides. So humans have become, God or what something. They wanted to save the bald eagle, they did, but they never wanted to save the dodo or other things. So they are not saved. It's a kind of very strong interference with the environment. Now, the very sad story. Let me start the scenario of India. What is the scenario of India in this? Right now, there is only one sole producer in all world. दुनिया में एक ही ऐसा देश है जो डीडीटी को बनाता है. बाकी सारी दुनिया ने इसको बनाना बंद कर दिया. China made it till 2007. पूरी दुनिया में पेस्टिसाइड का बैन हो चुका है, especially organochlorines का, but there are only two countries right now, India and Africa. They have not stopped the use of pesticides. स्टॉकहोम कन्वेंशन ने इंडिया को वार्निंग दी थी 2014 में कि stop the use of pesticides, especially DDT, organochlorines, which we are using in public health to save the people of India from malaria. But India could not finish it in 2024. They have still asked for the extension of 5 more years. So right now, India is the only only country which is producing POPs, that is persistent organic pollutants, which are organochlorines, especially DDT, and it is selling it to the countries like Zambia, Botswana, and all. So it's a lot of money for India. And right now in India, we are using all these for the malaria control, but we don't understand one thing, that whatever they are adding to the earth, in the whatever form they are adding, whether to save the malaria or whether for the crop, it is going to the Mother Earth. There's no other place. So in India, it was banned in 1972, but however, we are still using it in the public health, as I told you. We are selling it to Botswana, South Africa, Zambia, Mozambique, Namibia, and Zimbabwe. And we have phased out that 2024 timeline. There's another thing which has increased the use of pesticide very much, is the pesticide resistance. Pehle hum if you take any organism, if you try to kill it in mass, they will develop some genetic changes and they will develop a resistance toward that particular morbid compound. So that happened with the pest also. They have developed a kind of resistance to the organochlorine pesticides, especially DDT. And if the use was 5 ppm before, now they are not even dying at 50 ppm. So that kind of genetic changes are happening in the pest. And the result is the use of pesticide is increasing multifold. And when the use has been increased, then we are affecting the non-target species as well. They are not, secondly, कोई भी जहर इतना स्पेसिफिक नहीं होता है कि वो एक ही जानवर को मारे. उसका कुछ ना कुछ असर तो दूसरे जानवरों पे जरूर होगा. And that is what is happening when we are spraying pesticides or insecticides. We are killing mosquitoes, but साथ में we are killing honeybees also, we are killing butterflies also, and we are killing other very important insects which are used for the pollination. And secondly, the trophic level, one trophic level is food for the another trophic level. If we'll finish all the pests out of the earth, what the next trophic level is going to eat? पहले हम घरों में सेल्फोस की गोलियां डालते थे. अब तो क्या घर में कोई गेहूं नहीं रखता है, पर पहले की हम कल्चरल प्रैक्टिसेस को देखें अपने हिंदुस्तान में, तो ड्रमों के अंदर गेहूं रखा जाता था और उसके अंदर कहते थे कि एक सेल्फोस की गोली डाल दो, जानवर नहीं लगेगा. Now you can imagine how harmful that sulfose would be कि उसके होने से वहां पे कोई जानवर नहीं आता. So these are the certain pictures I have just capped to show it to you that when birds are toxicated by pesticide, this is what happened. There are no new babies, and the eggs will just hatch like they'll break like this. Eggs will constrict like this. These are some gallinaceous bird. It happened in Rajasthan. I took the pictures from there, and this is how the mass toxicity happens when birds consume the stored grains which are coated with pesticides. So, as I said, water cycle is the life cycle, and water has the cleansing ability. So, water is something which will have maximum content of pesticides. And now, okay, one thing. Why are we talking so much about pesticides? What they do with humans? Pesticides are known as potent carcinogens, mutagens, and teratogens. I'll just ask you a simple question. क्या आपने चारों तरफ कभी आपने कैंसर का इतना नाम सुना था पहले कभी जितना आपने 10 साल में सुना है? नहीं, आपने नहीं सुना था. आजकल हर दूसरा व्यक्ति कैंसर से मर रहा है, चाहे वो किसी भी तरह का हो. They are dying of cancers. मैं आपको पंजाब लेके चलती हूँ. What happened in Punjab? Punjab has gone barren. Punjab is producing what is not edible. There is a train which runs from Punjab and it comes to Bikaner. It's known as cancer train. The uncontrolled, unmonitored use of pesticides and fertilizers has contaminated Punjab water, Punjab fields completely. And now the stage has happened that the use of fertilizers has gone 1,000 times. The use of pesticides has gone 1,000 times. Still, they are not having that kind of crop which they used to produce before. So this is another toxicity that it is affecting the fertility of our soil also. And then further enhances the addition of more fertilizers, more pesticides, more fertilizers, more pesticides. So we did one study in Alwar in Rajasthan, in which we tried to see contamination of water in Alwar, Bhiwadi, and Tijara. These are three cities which are nearby, around 60-40 kilometers away from each other. And we wanted to see, because Alwar is a very green city. Hope you've heard name of Sariska, Silicate, and all that is all in Alwar. So there's a lot of fields. Land is very fertile in Alwar. And there's a lot of fields around the Alwar city. So there's a lot of use of pesticides. So we try to see like how much contamination is there in Alwar. So we took water samples and we also took some milk samples also, because cattle grazes on grass. And grass is the first which comes out from the soil. So it will have a lot of pesticides. So we took samples of water from east, west, north, south of Alwar city. And we tried to see isomers of HCH, heptachlor, dichloro, diphenyl trichloroethane, andrine, endosulfan, chlorine, its metabolites, methoxychlor, dieldrin, aldrin, and many other pesticides in the sample analyzed. And I will these are the certain species, like this is a silicate lake from where we took the sample. This is the main lake which provides water to the Alwar city. Then we took samples from some hand pumps. We went to different vendors who supply milk, and from there we took milk samples of cattle which are consumed by humans. And I'm sorry to share this result with you. I will take you to the next slide, and I will just make you see this one. These are standard error, a plus minus standard error.
Sorry to interrupt, Dr. Mamta. Will you please wind up, because we have two more speakers also. Okay?
Yeah, just in 5 minutes, I'll just wind up. So if you see, this is 1.7, it is 0.9, it is 1.9. These are the different pesticide contamination we found. And do you know what is the permissible limit by WHO? It's 0.001 ppb. And we are drinking 1.7, 0.9, 1.9, 0.7, 1.6. So the scenario is not very good. And this is the answer to all the diseases right now, because pesticides are known to cause cancers, terratas, mutagens, and they cause type 2 diabetes, they cause gallbladder stones, they are immune suppressors, they are hormone disruptors. So I'll just speed up. These are from the different zones we found the pesticides. These are abbreviations. So this is another study I just wanted to share. This we did with SMS Medical College, Jaipur. And we took two hospitals, Mahila Chikitsalaya and Janana Hospital. And there's a one private hospital in Bani Bagh. And we took human samples. We took human samples from the mothers. When mother comes, we used to take her blood, and during the delivery, we collected placenta and cord blood, which is thrown. And on the 4th day, we collected the milk samples. The story is very bad. A lot of pesticides were found in the cord blood, in the placenta, in mother's milk, and human blood. There was a myth before that placenta acts as a barrier and it doesn't allow harmful chemicals to cross the placenta and go to the developing baby. No, that is totally shattered, because pesticides are lipophilic compounds. They are lipid soluble. They can easily cross the placenta, go to the developing baby, and cause all teratogenic malformations. This is the answer to the, and they are responsible for causing premature deliveries. They are responsible for many other diseases in children, like hydrocephaly and all. You see, some kids are born without long bones. Some kids are born with big hats. That is all pesticide toxicity. So the story is like this. We are not killing ourselves slowly. No, we are killing our future generations too. Why there's a lot of problem coming up with the infertility in kids? Why? Because these pesticides are known to interfere with the reproductive systems. They will make humans infertile. So this is the report. And this is one more thing. You see the amount of pesticide in the human milk. It's 0.09, 0.03, 5.2, 1.1. And if we compare these reports with the pesticide content of the packaged milk, it is less, because packaged milk or the boxed milk has less fat. But mother milk, you cannot separate fat from the mother's milk. When there's more fat, there's more pesticide. So can we say that right now mother's milk is also not fit for drinking? Shall we move on to the packaged fat milk, which has a lot of less pesticide than mother's milk, because it has less fat? I'll just speed up. These are certain reports from all over India. And secondly, see, we are talking the exposure of newborns or the exposures of baby in the womb. They are not adults. They are totally different from us. So what is the total synergistic effects on the developing baby who is in the womb or still, or who is just born? They are not physiologically like adults. They are totally different. They're very innate. So I told you we are threatening our future generations too. These are certain, now, this is something I want to talk about. Like, what should we do? When we are talking about scenario, it's so different. We have to move very specifically. We should look for integrated pest management. कोई भी country pesticide के use को बंद नहीं कर सकती क्योंकि right now the environment has totally changed. And no country can't see that their citizens die without food. हम तो अपने पड़ोसी को भी मरते नहीं देख सकते भूखा. So there is a scenario like this that we cannot stop the use of pesticide, but yes, we can move to integrated pest management. We should look for some pesticides which are targeted. We should look for some pest-specific predators, some pathogens. We should go to neem powders and neem sprays. And there are certain other plants which have been identified. We should go for some genetic modified organisms also. They all can help to control the use of pesticide, but at present, we cannot stop the use of pesticides. These are the certain events which we keep doing. These are the, because we make people aware. We make farmers aware that जितना जिस तरह से pesticide को use करना उतना ही use करें जो भी, because see, DDT has got half-life of 300 years, 400 years. So whatever used in 1960s when Paul Mueller got the Nobel Prize for identifying the insecticidal properties, it will take further 300 years to go. And whatever we are adding, it will further 300 years to go. We are actually forgetting that we are not the last one to live on this earth. We have taken this earth from our grandparents and we have to give it to our children. These are the certain events we which keep doing as a toxicology unit. These are the events we make people aware. We go to the schools, we call them, and we have like conducted around 25 international events. These are the patents we have filed with Government of India. These are 31 books I've authored. These are the latest publications. And this is my team. And this is the gas liquid chromatograph on which we estimate pesticide levels. And we are holding one more conference, ICECS DCEC, on 26 to 28 May 2025. I welcome you all to that. Thank you so much to the organizers, Mansi, for calling me here and sharing my views and my research. You can contact me on my email or mobile for any queries. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mamta. Thanks a lot. If you please close your PowerPoint. And as we all saw the grave situation of what is contaminated, I guess I will invite Suphiya, where she's going to talk about some of the naturally polluting agencies also. But what Mamta highlighted is something which is man-made disaster, I will call it. But there are also some natural toxicity which is available, but there are also many scientists and many innovators and startups who are working on finding solutions to it. But of course, the end result stays that how can we reduce the toxicity in not only in water but everywhere, as rightly pointed out by Mamta, that it has a spillover effect. Before I invite Dr. Suphiya Khan, let me just give a brief introduction because we will anyway run out of time, but I will request Suphiya to please be short as possible. Dr. Suphiya Khan is Deputy Director at the Shriram Research Institute at Gurugram. She is also an Associate Professor and founder of Drumlins Water Technologies Private Limited at Banasthali Vidyapith, which is a very renowned institute, to be honest. Suphiya is a very well-known name nationally and internationally for her work on innovations, especially on water, on women transforming, and she has been contributing not only in publication but also in innovations and all. I'll keep it short here because we really want to hear what are some of the solutions. Maybe, Suphiya, you may not directly present what can and how can we stop DDT, but at least some of the innovations which scientists are working and about your innovations on how can we deal with the toxicity which is lying around all over us, not only water, but everywhere. Thank you,
But
Suphiya.
around also. Thank you, Mansi, for giving me giving an in-depth introduction of me. And good evening to each and everyone, the panelists, and who are listening to me. So today I will be taking you through my the innovation journey, and will tell you about the latest things which are going in the water innovation area. As well said by Dr. Mamta, that a lot of the toxicity in the water in terms of pesticides, fluoride, arsenic, and other heavy metal contaminants, microorganism, and a number of tedious salinity, and the issues are so varied between the regions to regions. Somewhere it is like the problems of acidity, somewhere it is a problem of alkalinity, somewhere it is a problem of for example, like huge amount of the sewage and the sludge is forming. So let's discuss one by one that what the innovators or the scientists are doing in that direction. So in the capacity, I have been worked as first as a teacher. So I am a professor in the University of Banasthali Vidyapith, and I have 25 years of experience in research and innovation. And from my own research and innovation, I have rolled out many technologies which has been commercialized already. So I will take you through my innovations as well as the what's going all around. So let me share my PPT, and I'm trying to brief you as much as I can, like as Mansi said, that you have to cover up in a very shorter period of time.
Yeah, that's the challenge in Wednesdays for Water. We try to just introduce the subject so that
Yeah,
people can get
so
to
it
know the
is people
subject.
can get the things.
And for detail, they can always reach out to our speakers. Thank you. Go ahead.
So I will be taking you through all these slides, the recent advancements in the water technology and the Drumlins water technology, which is my startup. I want to give a case study. So the solutions what we are providing are all over the world. It is through the nature as well as nurture, or through our scientific interventions. So solving the global water challenge through the technologies which is based on the nature. So whatever is available in the nature, we are trying to observe and then take out the the solutions from it, like means the bio-inspired solution. So the most of the solutions are like the convergent solutions which we are taking from the nature. So this is a slide that we all of us know that 2 billion people lack access to the safe drinking water. And as my earlier speaker, Dr. Mamta said, that toxicity is one of the major crises and that need to be solved. And it is not a single man or single person thing. Like we need a large group of the people who are working in the different sectors in the water, and we have to join hands with each other and try to solve the problem. So climate change, pollutions, and other things are worsened day by day. And innovations, innovative solutions, which are very, very crucial, that should be sustainable in the nature based. And these are the need of an hour. And I will take you through all these things. So there are various solutions available for the drinking water. For example, the reverse osmosis, and we all know reverse osmosis, that they do not retain the minerals, brine is coming out. And there are various challenges of the maintenance and the making of this membrane, these challenges with the RO membrane. And some are ion exchangers, electrodialysis, ultrafiltration, and phytoremediation. So some processes are like time-taking procedures. Some are not being able to target the monovalent and the divalent ions. They are working only on the principle of the pore size. Some are giving the solution which is not good for the environment. They are releasing a lot of the brine. Either they are using a lot of electricity. So somewhere else we need to find out, we have to refigure out, and working on the 3R principles, like the how we can reduce, recycle, and the reuse of things. So in a complete circular model, we are living in an era where we all talk about the ZLD, circular economy. So all the solutions what the innovators are trying to give in this era, it should address these 3R principles, which is based on like reduction, how much of the toxicity in the water you can reduce it, how you can reuse the water, and how you can recycle the water. So there are the things where the innovations plays a very, very crucial role. And all things we can say that our solution should be sustainable in the nature. So these are the solution and where the innovations and my lab, because this is the case study that I'm giving. So earlier when I started my work, it was on the phytoremediation, 2D, 3D nanomaterials. In nanomaterials, they are giving a very large surface area, good adsorption capacity and all these things. And the sensing abilities. But now our labs are working on the high performance nanomaterials, which are like believing to change in the functional characterization and functionality in their surfaces. So we are working on the advanced performance nanomaterials for the niche market and the polymers, and we are playing with the polymers and the metals, and we are like giving the water solutions in so many areas. And for giving a very good solution, you need a multidisciplinary approach. So it is based on bio-based materials, as I've already said to you, that we are trying to observe the natures. For example, leaf. So we are developing the artificial leaf. So it is in the nature, and you are just taking the inspiration of from the nature and trying to develop the devices and the systems and fabricate it for the better functioning and then characterization, and trying to give a better solution for drinking water, or it can be applicable for the wastewater treatment, or it can be applicable for the lakes, ponds, water. So where it is can be fitted, so it can be customized, and the tailor-made solutions you can see in the market. So from the science perspective and the innovative perspective, whatever the science that the universities are doing, it is generally based on the research and development, basic research, applied, and the technology development. But for the technologies from the ground, from the R&D to the market, it is a very, very long journey. But with the help of AI and ML, the long journey of the science to translation has get reduced now. But it is a matter of 10 to 15 years, and we have to work hard a lot to develop the technologies and to test it the technologies in the real environmental conditions. So these things that all the researchers now in this era, all our funding agencies, all our national bodies, prime minister's mission to give this the next decade should be the product driven nation. And we are closely working, all of us, to achieve that target. And विकसित भारत जो हमारा 2047 का जो टारगेट है, उसमें बहुत सारी पॉलिसीज के अंदर चेंज किया गया है, from the grassroots level innovators to the higher level, and all the stakeholders are now these days are working closely, and collaboration को एक की बताया गया है, और collaboration से ही हम एक अच्छा कोई प्रोडक्ट या टेक्नोलॉजी दे पाएंगे, जिससे कि सोसाइटी को काफी बेनिफिशियल रहेगी चीजें. सो टॉप से लेके बॉटम तक बहुत सारी पॉलिसीज के मैं पार्ट हूँ, और काफी चीजें जो है टाइम के साथ बदल रही हैं. सो आई कैन से दिस इज अ वेरी वेरी गुड एरा of for the innovation and for the product development, and the changes are being reflected at the every level. So this is the Drumlins Water Technologies Private Limited. It is an spin-out company, or I can say the company which has originated from my own research center, that is the Center for Excellence Water and Energy. And our mission is to make the India a fluoride-free country in the next 3 to 5 years. And this company has originated because we placed in the Banasthali, and I have seen the lot of people in the nearby villages and the surroundings suffering from a lot of the fluoride in the water, despite of the government efforts, government programs, and the RO systems and other technologies are also available. So I took this as a research question and started that what was the key problem with this ion, and why we need a very centralized approach and decentralized approach to solve this problem. और एक आयन के लिए इतनी क्या प्रॉब्लम है? So my research said that there is no technology in the world that can maintain the levels of the fluoride that is required for your body. And the second thing, it is a double-edged sword, and you need to develop a very high selective as well as for the removal technology as well as sensing technology, that is the need of an hour for the fluoride remediation. And when I started my research, I have reviewed like thousands of the papers, and still the people are doing work, and constantly the research work is going in this direction. Still we want a solutions that is very prominent and robust in terms of the user friendliness and the robust product type also. So we have developed our technology on the nanobiotechnology, and in the nanotechnology ये एक हम अगर जो लोग मुझे देख रहे हैं उसमें ये है कि हमारे बाल से 80,000 गुना छोटा जो पार्ट है उसको यूज करते हुए जो है अगर आप कोई टेक्नोलॉजी बनाते हैं तो उससे सरफेस एरिया बढ़ जाता है बहुत सारा, और कई सारी एडवांसमेंट इस एरिया में हो चुके हैं जिस पर कि हम लोगों ने काफी हद तक काम किया। इसकी सरफेस केमिस्ट्री पे, मॉडिफिकेशंस पे और एड्सॉर्प्शन कैपेसिटी से लेके ताकि हाईली सेलेक्टिव चीजों पे रहे, कैटालिसिस पे काम किया था कि कितना लंबे समय तक कोई जो काम है वो हो पाएगा। जैसे अगर कोई आर्सेनिक का रिमूवल है या फ्लोराइड का रिमूवल है तो हम कितने टाइम तक उसको यूज कर पाएंगे। ये सारी चीजें आप जब बेसिक साइंस करते हैं तब आपको जो है इन डेप्थ हमने स्टडी करनी पड़ती है। ये टेक्नोलॉजी जो इतने साल से हमने काम किया है उसको कई सारे गवर्नमेंट के अवार्ड्स भी मिले। उसके अलावा गवर्नमेंट के थ्रू ही जो है हमें फंडिंग मिली थी, डायरेक्ट की फंडिंग, कुछ इन्वेस्टर्स ने पैसा लगाया, कुछ मैंने खुद ने लगाया। द फर्स्ट प्रोडक्ट जो है वो इट इज इन नाउ इन द लार्ज स्केल वैलिडेशन स्टेज, जो कि लार्ज स्केल राजस्थान से लेके और हम ट्राई कर रहे हैं उन्नत भारत अभियान से, ताकि अलग अलग जगह ये वैलिडेट हो जाए, ताकि हम इसकी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग खोल पाएं और लास्ट यूजर तक जा पाएं। इसकी जो टेक्नोलॉजी है वो है डिप बेस्ड, कि आप सिर्फ पानी में आप डिप करते हैं तो वो फ्लोराइड को रिमूव कर लेती है। इसके अलावा इसमें ग्रीन और रेड लाइट है जो कि ये बताते हैं कि आपको डिप तब तक करना है जब तक कि रेड ना हो जाए, यानी इट इज ए सेंसर इक्विप्ड, ताकि आपकी बॉडी को जितना रिक्वायर्ड फ्लोराइड है वो इसके अंदर रहता है। इट इज कैन बी रीयूज फॉर मल्टीपल टाइम्स, कई बार तक इसको जो है हम क्या कर सकते हैं, इस्तेमाल में ले सकते हैं। और इसके ट्रायल्स वगैरह जो है अभी उस स्टेज पे चल रहे हैं काफी, और अलग अलग एनवायरमेंटल कंडीशंस के अंदर हम इसको यूज कर रहे हैं और वैलिडेट कर रहे हैं। नाउ इट इज इन द कंप्लीट फाइनल शेप एंड द स्टेज। सेकेंड जो चीज है वो है स्मार्ट वाटर प्यूरिफिकेशन टैंक। ये वो चीज है जो सेलेक्टिव रिमूव करेगी सारे आयंस को, मेटल आयंस को, एनायंस को, और आपके मिनरल्स को रिटेन करेगी। ये आपके रिप्लेसमेंट ऑफ आरओ रहेगा, एंड दैट कैन बी पुट इन द रूफ्स ऑफ द, कहीं पे भी आपकी जो रूफ्स हैं वहीं पे ये रखी जा सकेगी ये चीजें। और इट इज पावर्ड बाय ओनली बाय लाइट, लाइट की मदद से जो है इस चीज को चलाया जाएगा। और ऑटो यानी कि इसमें कैटालिसिस है, इसमें एड्सॉर्प्शन है, और इसमें 2-3 टेक्नोलॉजी का मिक्सचर करके एक ऐसी चीज बनाई है जिससे कि जो है ये एक प्योर फॉर्म के अंदर आपको पानी दे एंड कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव। ये चीज अभी R&D की, या मैं कहूँ कि टेक्नोलॉजी रेडीनेस लेवल 5 के ऊपर ये टेक्नोलॉजी है, और इसके ऊपर हम काफी हद तक काम कर रहे हैं। एक चीज जो है इंडस्ट्री का वेस्ट वाटर जो है, कई सारी अलग अलग इंडस्ट्रीज हैं जो कि आपने देखा है कि नदियों के अंदर पानी जा रहा है तो गलत गलत मतलब जो है ऐसे ही पहुंचा दिया जाता है। अब चीजें बहुत ज्यादा टफ हो चुकी हैं, तो वेस्ट वाटर रिसाइकलिंग एक बहुत बड़ा इम्पोर्टेंट है। और इसके अंदर अब सभी जगह से जो नेशनल बॉडीज हैं, CPCB है, आपके पॉल्यूशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड है, उन सब के तहत आज की तारीख में इंडस्ट्रीज को पानी ऐसे ही डिस्चार्ज करने का ऐसे डिस्चार्ज नहीं कर सकते। दे हैव एन ह्यूज पेनल्टी। हर इंडस्ट्री को ज्यादातर जीरो लिक्विड डिस्चार्ज पे जाना होता है। तो जो पुरानी टेक्नोलॉजीज को वो यूज करते हैं, आधे से ज्यादा MSMEs कोई चीज एफ्लुएंट ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट जो है वो उनके इफेक्टिव नहीं रहते हैं, यूज भी करते हैं तो थोड़े टाइम में खराब हो जाते हैं। MBR से लोग परेशान हो रखे हैं कि हम मेम्ब्रेन को बार बार हमें चेंज करना पड़ता है, अगर बहुत ज्यादा COD BOD है तब भी चीजों के चैलेंज आते हैं। ओजोन डिसइंफेक्शन, या जैसे एसिडिक जो माइनिंग वाटर्स होता है, तो माइनिंग के अंदर भी बहुत ज्यादा एसिड रिच ड्रेन निकलता है। कहीं पर जो है बहुत ज्यादा जिंक ज्यादा निकल रहा है, कहीं पे जो है क्रोमियम ज्यादा हो रहा है, और वो चीज आपके एनवायरनमेंट के लिए भी बहुत ज्यादा नुकसानदेह है। वो लीच आउट होके अल्टीमेटली या तो वो किसी लेक्स में चली जाती है या सॉइल में चली जाती है, और वो फिर आप तक पहुंच जाती है फूड वेब से। आप उन सब चीजों को कैसे रोकें? तो ये पूरा जो एफर्ट्स है साइंटिफिक कम्युनिटी का वो ये है कि हम वेस्ट से ही जो है मटेरियल लें जिसको कि हम यूज कर सकते हैं, यानी कि जो चीज वेस्ट हो चुकी उसी को एक कैटलिस्ट के फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट करें, जो कि आपका जो है वाटर को जो है प्यूरिफाई करने का काम करे, और प्यूरिफाई करने के बाद उसको रिसाइकल करें, और रिसाइकल के बाद उसको रीयूज करने का मतलब है उस पानी को उस लेवल पे लेके जाना है कि अगर आप हॉर्टिकल्चर में यूज करना चाह रहे हैं आप हॉर्टिकल्चर में यूज करें, अगर आप अपने घरों के अंदर जो है उसको गार्डनिंग में यूज करना चाह रहे हैं, या आप उसको वापस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट में लेके जाना चाह रहे हैं, पोर्टेबल वाटर में कन्वर्ट करना चाह रहे हैं, उसके सबके पैरामीटर्स होते हैं. यू हैव टू कन्वर्ट दैट वाटर इनटू द रीयूजेबल फॉर्म, या फिर कंस्ट्रक्शन वाटर में कन्वर्ट कर दीजिए उसको. सो यू कैन चेंज एंड रिसाइकल वाटर इनटू वेरियस टाइप्स. उसका एक केस स्टडी मैं अभी देती हूँ. ये टेक्नोलॉजी अभी हम लोगों ने श्रीराम इंस्टीट्यूट फॉर इंडस्ट्रियल रिसर्च से डेवलप करी है. ये है जिंक रिकवरी ट्रीटमेंट. क्योंकि जो एक टायर कॉर्ड जहां से बनता है, जैसे टायर के अंदर जो टायर कॉर्ड है, उसकी बनाने वाली कंपनी है ये डीसीएम श्रीराम रेयॉन्स, जो कि कोटा में सिचुएटेड है. इसके मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के अंदर बहुत ज्यादा जिंक जो है यूज होता है. तो जब जिंक बहुत ज्यादा यूज होता है सिंथेसिस में, जैसे 61,000 ppm के लेवल तक यूज होता है, लेकिन उसके बाद जो है जिंक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के पूरे यूज करने के बाद भी काफी अमाउंट में रिलीज हो जाता है, जिसको कि वहां के एग्जिस्टिंग टेक्नोलॉजीज जो है उसको सॉल्व नहीं कर पा रहे. दूसरा, इसको सॉल्व करने के लिए जो आपकी टेक्नोलॉजी है वो 8 से 10 मेट्रिक टन, मतलब ह्यूज अमाउंट ऑफ द सीवेज जिसको बोलता है, वो बनता है. तीसरी चीज, हैजार्डस स्लज अगर आता है तो उसको डंपिंग के लिए आपको अलग जगह चाहिए होती है. जिंक अपना आप में एक ऐसा मेटल है, महंगा है, जिसको कि रीयूज करना पड़ता है, यानी रिसाइकिल करना पड़ता है उनको. तो वो ये चाहते हैं कि इस पूरे वेस्ट मटेरियल से वो रिकवर कर लें. तो जो जो है मैंने टेक्नोलॉजी जो डेवलप करी है, वो 3 चीजों पे डिपेंड करती है: केमिकल मेथड, फिजिकल मेथड और बायोलॉजिकल मेथड. यानी कि जो नेचर से, एक तो मैंने बायोलॉजी का चीज ली है, उसके अलावा फिजिकल मेथड है और केमिकल मेथड है. इसकी कन्वर्जेंस ऑफ द टेक्नोलॉजीज है. और इस कन्वर्जेंस का मतलब हमने तीनों चीजों को एक साथ करके इस्तेमाल में लिया है. और लेने के बाद जो है हम लोगों ने इसका जो पायलट स्केल पर हमने इसको वैलिडेट किया है. अब ये टेक्नोलॉजी पूरे कमर्शियल स्टेट पे जा चुकी है. 24/7 हम इसको यूज करते हैं. और ये पानी की टेक्नोलॉजी 2.5 लाख लीटर वाटर पर डे कैपेसिटी पे जो है पानी को प्यूरिफाई भी करती है. जिंक आपका दोबारा से हमने रिसाइकल कर दिया. बड़े बड़े जो, जैसे ये जो 3rd नंबर पे सेंट्रीफ्यूजेस हैं, वो सारे स्टेप्स हमने हटा दिए उसके अंदर से, ताकि जो इंडस्ट्री है उसको कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव सॉल्यूशन मिल सके. 8 से 10 मेट्रिक टन स्लज था, तो इस टेक्नोलॉजी से स्लज बिल्कुल जीरो कर दिया गया. एंड कंप्लीटली जो है जीरो लिक्विड डिस्चार्ज की टेक्नोलॉजी दी गई, यानी रिड्यूस, रिसाइकल एंड जो है रिड्यूस. और इसमें जो केमिकल कंपोनेंट लिया था मैंने, वो था वहीं का वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट, और वहीं के वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट को रिसाइकल करके कंप्लीट सॉल्यूशन दिया है. एंड इट इज ऑन दी 300 KLD पे उसको जो है हमने वैलिडेट भी किया है. And now it is completely fully functional at the level of 1800 meter cube. And I'm proud to say that can be adopted at wide scale and validated. And this is now been ready by taken for various kind of the industries who are facing the lot of crisis in the heavy metal as well as the other metal removal. So it's a bio refining or bio mining kind of these things also we have done. So these are the adsorption units. We place the digital photograph for our pilot scale plants, that how you can use the different kind of the carbon-based materials for the removal of the heavy metal contaminants. These are the things, these are the photographs of our pilot scale plant that we have developed, the Pandit Deen Dayal Energy Institute. And this is a project of the government, which is a water innovation project of the DST. And as we have already discussed the industrial water efficiency, I have given one example of it, that how we can reduce the industrial water use and waste. And there should be an innovation. So I can summarize it. So it is a closed loop system and various kind of, now these days, the AI based water monitoring. Now I'm adding this AI based tool. So automate how to automate the whole system. And then after automate all the system, we can reduce the cost and conserve resources also. So I have given you one example that how you can recycle, reuse this water at the level of the industry. So these are the latest breakthroughs which are going in the innovations which are like taking place in India. All other aspects is the advanced desalination steps. So in an advanced desalination, various kinds of the membranes, different scientists are working, graphene based membrane, and therefore metal, like different kind of the doping metals, as well as nature inspired membranes. There are n number of literature and n number of scientists are working on this also. to reduce the energy consumption, because this is a major thing that for large scales, like the country like Abu Dhabi and country like Saudi Arabia, where the desalination is the only way for the purification of the water. So the energy consumption, how we can reduce the energy consumption. So, and the format of osmosis is also one of the technology in which many scientists are working. And another is the nature-based solutions, where the various scientists are working on the phytoremediation, how you can restore the water, how you can restore the wetland restoration, urban green infrastructure, and how you can support the biodiversity, reclaim your ponds and rivers and all these things. And this area is also very huge, and a lot of people and the Ministry of Jal Shakti and its various entity and the sub parts and sub institutions are working in this, giving the nature-based solutions. So we are on the path. The India is moving like that. We are on the path, and we have invested huge amount of the money and the resources to revive our rivers, to revive our ponds, to revive our things. And in this, I would like to tell that not only scientific innovation, it is the things are like a mission mode. We need all the water professionals to join hands with each other and then work towards for the nation and do the things in a mission mode and collaborate with each other, because single-handedly we cannot solve the problem and we cannot reach to the last level where we want to see the changes. This is also the nature-based solution, where we have patented our technology for the fluoride remediation, for the recumulation of the soils, which is a high level of the salinity and the fluoride. And we have used the plant system as well as the microbes, which are helping in the plant growth mechanisms, hydrogels, nanoparticles, and the quantum dots. And by combination, permutation, and all these things, we have developed the technologies, and it has also been validated at the Banasthali Vidyapith for the large scale validation, and that patent has also this is a patented technology. Another area is the solar water purification, in which we are using the solar energy to purify the water off grid. This is also important area, and where the various people are working on the solar wafer cells, their membranes, and how you can improve the efficiency of all these things so that water can evaporate in a faster manner, because it is based on the distillation. Whatever the energy it is coming inside, and ultimately the water has to boil or some cell, and then after condensation the water will pure. So the nano enhanced evaporators are very, very important, in which the different scientists are working, and these kind of things you can easily place in the rooftops and other things here and the disaster areas. So water can clean in an automatic manner, in a natural manner, you can say. And the another thing in which many research and very you can say very various startups also working on this area, IoT and AI based real-time water monitoring, and then has been linked with the water dispensers also. And these applications, their applications can be various, like leak detections in the water. Metering in the water is also one of the various aspects in which various scientists and the innovations are working. New meters are in the market, new leakage precision, as well as all things are linked with the IoT and the AI. And IoT and AI based solutions like water dispensers are in the market now these days. And these are also being utilized for the precision of the agriculture and enhancement of the water use efficiently, and how we can reduce the waste. So these are the smart water management tools in which various kind of the innovations are also being placed and line up. And another area is the atmosphere water harvesting, in which the devices are making the water has been extracted out from the solars, like from the environment. And so these things, evaporations, like water is the water, the water is available in the atmosphere, we can extract out from the solar powers also. So these are the things, like we have make a pad, and whatever is the water in a form of an air outside, so it can be condensed and it can be converted from the air to the water, and these kind of systems are already developed at the IIT Madras. So various hydro panels and various kind of the metal organic frameworks that can be converted or can be reused for the water condensations, and these are the ideals for the remote and the arid areas. ये एक तरीके से water cooler की तरीके से होता है, और वाटर कूलर के जिस तरीके से होता है वैसे ही आपका जो एयर्स है वो पानी लगातार बनता रहता है. अब कितना बनेगा वो डिपेंड करता है एनवायरनमेंट में, और दूसरा हम कितना पानी को एयर से क्या कर पाते हैं, एक्सट्रैक्ट कर पाते हैं. एडवांस डिसैलिनेशन स्टेज ये है, उसमें कई सारा, ये आई हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस, आई कैन अवॉइड दिस. सो व्हाट इज द कंक्लूजन? सो in all the problem statements of the water in the various sectors, various kind of, whether it is domestic or industry or industrial wastewater, so innovation is the key to solving any water challenges, and we have to join hands, and the future depends upon the technology, depend upon the nature, as well as the policy support, as well as like how we are joining collaborations with each other. So the future depends upon the technology, nature and policy, and now it is the right time to take the action, and with help of each other we can join hand each other to support each other and to scale all these water solutions to make it reality and to reach at the last level. So we have done work so far, so these are the just highlights and glimpse of our work. So despite of so many odds, we got so many of the awards and all these things, and our work has been recognized at national and the international forums. We are also creating all the awareness nearby villages, and thank you, and I want to join hands with each all guys you are who are listening to me, and I'm really thankful to Mansi for providing me this opportunity to present the what are the key innovations are like happening in this area. I have tried to give a very generic view because Mansi said that this you should avoid all the technical details and all kind of these things, so I have avoided and tried to make it so that the last user or the layman can understand. And if any one of you want to go and want to like know about the details in the innovation, so please contact me separately. I'm very passionate in the water research and have been rolled out so many of the technologies, and really wants to see that how through my science or my enterprise that it reaches to the last level. So thank you so much, Mansi.
Thank you, Suphiya. Thanks a lot. And we heard both the ladies so passionate about how toxicity is there and how it impacts us. And then we heard Suphiya took us through a journey of how a lot of water toxicity or pollution, I will say, is really handled by not only Suphiya's company, I mean company in terms of team, but across the country, how we are trying to really address this. I still come to a point where Mamta was talking about that it is part of our life and it is going to be there, but how can we reduce? That is where I would like to invite our third speaker. We are running late in our session today, but looking at the interesting part of the session, I am very tempted to continue the session as well as have the conversation. Before I invite Sundarajan Krishnan, I would also request all the participants present here, first of all, big thank you to all of you for your patiently listening. And at the same time, I encourage you to post your questions in the chat box, or you can reserve your digital hand for asking questions later on, which means request Suphiya and Mamta to hang around here because there must be questions. Before I invite Sundarajan, I would like to have a brief introduction of him so that people get you aware of why Sundarajan is here. Sundarajan is going to be the face of the mass. Just to put it in a simple way. But behind, he leads INREM Foundation that has a vision to secure water-safe communities for people affected by water contamination. INREM brings ability to assess problems and work out solutions that can minimize health impacts, such as fluoride, arsenic, and other contaminants, which are mainly where INREM is really helping upon to detect for securing drinking water, safer, good production, and cleaner water bodies. Sundar is an Ashoka Fellow and a Future Earth India Committee member. Sundar, as you heard both the ladies passionately talking about the problem and the solution, I would like to know from you in your presentation, how as a community, as a lay person like me, who has hardly ABC or XYZ about water, how do we look at the problem? And how do we understand the solution and accept it what is the acceptability and affordability. Over to you, Sundar. Thank you so much and welcome once again back to our session. And looking forward to you. You are our community face today. Over to you.
Thanks, Mansi, for inviting me here, and too very inspiring to hear Dr. Suphiya Khan and then earlier Dr. Mamta Sharma. Very inspiring to see all these innovations that you're working on, Dr. Suphiya, and then all the, I mean, while you were speaking, Dr. Mamta, it was just like a stark reminder, of all of the things that are happening around us. Thanks for bringing it all together, Dr. Mamta. So, Mansi, just stop me if I'm, taking too much time, right? I mean, you can just
No,
come
you
in
take your
anytime.
time. We are all emotionally
Just,
carried away
you can
today
just come
because
in
it's a matter
anytime.
of our lives.
Yeah, just come in anytime.
Yeah.
So largely, no, unless everybody is in it, I mean, we'll not make progress, right? I mean, इसमें अगर हम पोल्यूट करते ही जाएंगे, है ना, मैं अगर पोल्यूट करते ही जाऊंगा, मैं अगर प्लास्टिक बैग यूज करते जाऊंगा और फेंकते जाऊंगा, तो जितना भी सूफिया जी के टेक्नोलॉजीज उसको ट्रीट कर लें, मैं प्रॉब्लम उनका बढ़ाने वाला हूँ ना, मैं बढ़ाने ही वाला हूँ, राइट? तो मैं जब तक समझू नहीं, तो मैं आपका प्रॉब्लम बढ़ाते ही जाऊंगा. आप जिंक ट्रीट कर लो, सब कुछ ट्रीट लो. सॉरी फॉर दैट, सुफिया जी. सो आई थिंक, आई मीन, scientists like her, I mean, they are doing extraordinary service to humanity and to the nation. And sadly, because people like me, and then the larger, set of people, I mean, we are not improving. ना कि हम लोग जिस तरीके से चीजों को देख रहे हैं वही करते जा रहे हैं, और सब कुछ हमारे हाथ में है. आई बिलीव दैट एवरीथिंग इज ऑन आवर हैंड एंड थिंग्स कैन चेंज इन अ डे. Things can all change, but we are not changing, right? Which is what we need to accept. तो बेसिक सवाल ये है, क्वेश्चन इज दैट हाउ आर वी सीइंग इट, है ना? ये सब जो टॉक्सिसिटी है, पेस्टिसाइड है, सो मेनी ऑफ दीज कंटामिनेंट्स, आर्सेनिक, फ्लोराइड्स एंड एवरीथिंग, ये सबको देख कैसे रहे हैं, और उसके बाद जो सॉल्यूशंस आ रहे हैं, इनोवेशंस आ रहे हैं, टेक्नोलॉजी आ रहा है, क्या मैं उसके साथ रिलेट कर पा रहा हूँ? क्या हम उससे खुश भी हो रहे हैं? क्या हम लोग एग्जिस्टिंग कंडीशन को समझ रहे हैं? क्या मुझे पता है मेरे सराउंडिंग क्या हो रहा है? कि देन जब सूफिया जी जब टेक्नोलॉजी लेके आ रही है तो मुझे खुशी हो रही है क्या? तो largely I will just relate few incidences, few examples, stories within some experiences, within some travels, जो मैंने अलग अलग जगहों में देखी है. एंड लार्जली मैं तो कन्विंस्ड हूँ कि we have to accept that any place we go, and this is not about India only, I think any place we go in our country here, but also anywhere in the world, कि एग्जिस्टिंग एक कल्चर है, एक ऑब्जर्वेशन का तरीका है पानी के बारे में. सभी जगह है, सभी जगह है ना, हर जगह है, और एक इंट्यूशन भी है पानी के बारे में. दैट इज अ प्रॉब्लम ऑल्सो, दैट इज द गुड थिंग, स्ट्रेंथ ऑल्सो, बिकॉज हर एक का ओपिनियन है पानी के बारे में. Everybody in this world is related to water, and everybody has a view. Some of these opinions are carrying on for like thousands of years, right? And there is a lot of wisdom, and no science can beat it sometimes, right? This wisdom jo banta aaya hai locally, that is like super strong, in so many places, no doubt about it. But largely जो व्यू है वाटर के बारे में, और कंटामिनेशन, क्वालिटी, और ये सभी चीजें हैं, वो कल्चरल एस्पेक्ट्स हैं, नहीं तो ह्यूमन सेंसेस के एस्पेक्ट्स हैं. जितने भी बार बार हम देख रहे हैं, अगर मुझे आप पूछें तो ये जो ग्लास है इसमें पानी है, तो आई जस्ट से दैट इट इज, आई कैन सी इट, इट लुक्स गुड, आई कैन स्मेल इट, इट looks good, I taste it, it looks good, right? I mean, most of the views about water is being made just because we are just guided by basic sense, right? Basic हमारे जो human sense है. And larger sphere, the public sphere, the public imagination, larger public imagination even today, unfortunately, in a large sense, it is still guided mainly by the sensory perception. And I'll give several points to contradict what I'm saying also. I'll contradict myself also. मैं examples भी देता हूँ. जैसे कि कई जगह हैं जहाँ पर कैंसर बहुत ज़्यादा है, और हम लोग जो ट्रैवल करते हैं तो इमीडिएटली पीपल से, तो पानी में कुछ है, केमिकल है, पेस्टिसाइड है, जो भी है, इसकी वजह से कैंसर है. इमीडिएटली पीपल कैन रिलेट. सेकेंड पॉइंट, कई फार्मर्स को मैं मिलता हूँ, तो वो अपना खेती तो करते हैं 90% खेत में, जो मार्केट में बेचने के लिए, और दूसरा उनका छोटा सा फार्म होता है जो खुद के घर के खाने के लिए. क्यों होता है? उनके पास कोई डॉक्टर ममता जी का साइंस नहीं है, उनके पास डॉक्टर सुफिया जी का टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं है, उनके पास मेरे जैसा कोई एनजीओ वर्कर नहीं है जिन्हें आके कम्युनिकेशन और बिहेवियर चेंज किया है, कुछ भी नहीं है। उनको पता है, राइट? उस फार्मर को पता है, और वो अपने खुद का वेजिटेबल की खेती है अलग से कर रहे हैं, अपने घर वालों के लिए कर रहे हैं, राइट? इट नॉट नेसेसरी, वी विल आर्ग्यू कि वो भी सेफ नहीं है, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट स्टोरी, राइट? बट कर रहे हैं, मतलब लोग जानते भी हैं, राइट? But now I'll take you to some 3 or 4 different other examples. Some many years back, I was traveling in Tamil Nadu. और तमिलनाडु में नॉर्थ में डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स हैं धर्मपुरी एंड कृष्णगिरी. दे आर बॉर्डरिंग विद ऑल्सो विद कर्नाटका. और वहाँ पर मैं विलेज टू विलेज में जा रहा हूँ. मैं बच्चों के साथ बात करके जाते जा रहा था ओवर अ डिस्टेंस ऑफ अराउंड 100-150 किलोमीटर्स इन अ पीरियड ऑफ 2 days. गाड़ी में मैं घूम रहा था. बच्चों को मैं देखता था, बच्चों के दांत में ऐसे स्टेन्स होते थे, येलो कलर रेडिश स्टेन्स होते थे. तो मैं बच्चों को रैंडमली जाके पूछता था कि ये क्यों हो रहा है आपको, कि ये स्टेन्स क्यों है आपको दांत में. और हंसते हंसते बच्चे मुझे एक जवाब देते थे, द रीजन आई हैव स्टेन्स, क्यों मुझे स्टेन्स है. तो आई वाज आस्किंग इन तमिल, एंड इन तमिल दे रिप्लाइड, तेन्ने ओले नाल. Tenne ole means coconut leaf stem. In childhood, we were just playing with the coconut tree and we were biting on the stem. Because of that, we have these stains on our teeth. And this over a distance of 150 kilometers. Common kind of views among children age 5 to 12. This is called dental fluorosis. And this is happening because of high fluoride in water. Yes, Dr. Sophia? ये जो horizontal reddish and brown stains,
Yes.
जो मिल्क टीथ में
Yeah.
नहीं होता, परमानेंट टीथ में होता है बियॉन्ड 7 or 8 years, you know that, right? But 150 kilometers, common answer, it is because we were of our mischief in our childhood, right? Point number 1. Point number 2, ट्रैवलिंग अक्रॉस कोस्टल गुजरात. मेरे एक कलीग हैं तो वो अभी निकले, और वो और मैं घूमते जा रहे थे. रीनल स्टोन्स, किडनी स्टोन्स के ऊपर हम लोग काम कर रहे थे. Hospitals which have like thousands of people every month, coming in, kidney stones. Village to village we go. Common answer, ये पानी में क्षार यानी कि salinity की वजह से है ना. Common perception in people's mind. You talk to doctors have a totally different story, right, about it. Point number 3, very sad story. You travel to this place Ongole in Prakasham district of Andhra Pradesh, right from this place called Udanam close to Vishakhapatnam down to the coast, right? It is called a kidney failure belt, called CKDU, chronic kidney disorder of unknown etiology. CKDU दुनिया भर में करीब 10, 12, 13 जगहों पर है. इंडिया में आई थिंक गोवा के पास में है, और यहाँ पर उद्दानम close to विशाखापट्टनम and up to Ongole. There at a village level you have dialysis centers. Kidney failure, not kidney stone. Village level में dialysis centers हैं. I met a 12-year-old girl who is on dialysis for every 15 days. She won't survive beyond 3 or 4 more years. वहां पर लोगों को पूछते हैं कि आपको हो गया, क्यों हो गया, क्या करने वाले हैं. They just point their finger at the RO plant in front of them. People have been convinced that something is wrong in the water and this RO plant is going to save them and everything is fine. और अभी तक उसके बाद 6-7 साल हो गए हैं, nothing has been found in water which causes that kidney failure, and that RO plant will not save them, right? राजस्थान में रिसेंटली हम ग्राउंड में काम कर रहे थे, लोगों ने हमको कहा कि उनका प्रॉब्लम है तेलिया पानी. उनका एक ही प्रॉब्लम है पानी के लिए, पानी में तेलिया पानी. दूसरे दिल्ली मेट्रो, आई वाज जस्ट ट्रैवलिंग, आई ओवरहर्ड 2 people स्पीकिंग. तो दिस पर्सन वाज टेलिंग अनदर कि ये जो पानी घर में सप्लाई हो रहा है वो बहुत खुजली वाला पानी है, पूरे घर में खुजली है, हर जगह पे जहां पर ये पानी जा रहा है बस नहाते हैं तो खुजली वाला, ये पानी खुजली वाला पानी है. इन बिहार a colleague of mine talks about भारी वाटर, इसके लिए पानी को तोड़ना पड़ता है. एंड some years back one very old lady, I keep telling that, she हमको डांट दिया उन्होंने और कहा आपको पता नहीं है ये लंगड़ा पानी है. पानी लंगड़ा है, और हम उसके पहले 4-5 साल तक उनको समझाने का कोशिश कर रहे थे, और यूजिंग लाइक whatever, राइट, फ्लोराइड, टॉक्सिसिटी, दिस दैट एंड एवरीथिंग. उन्होंने डांट के बच्चे को बताया और हमको बताया नहीं ये लंगड़ा पानी है. और उसके बाद वो बच्चे और सभी जो गांव वाले जो नदी के पास हाथ को ऐसे मिट्टी को निकाल निकाल कर जो पानी इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, आज के दिन उनका आंसर टू फ्लोरोसिस इज दैट in spite of whatever technology we or others have brought in, at
हाँ
least 10 months, at least 10 months a year, right? Now why am I relating all of these is that public sphere में ये बातें नहीं है, ठीक है? Nothing can replace the education that you and me have received. We are able to, we are, देखो हमारे जो basic education काफी receive हुआ है, and language, English and all of that, we are constantly being receiving, okay, a lot of fake news, but also a lot of reasonably reliable news and information from TV, social media and everywhere, right? We are getting, right? Nothing can overnight replace all of that, and thereby we are not just responding to water, we are paranoid to water. मैं बॉम्बे में जाता हूँ, आरओ को पानी पीता हूँ. There is no need for me to drink RO water in Bombay. I'm so paranoid, right? I can't help it. Right? And whereas this person in Buxar in Bihar, जिसके घर में पानी में आर्सेनिक है, neither can you see it, nor taste it, right, nor smell it. और उसके वजह से हाईली कार्सिनोजेनिक है, several types of cancer हो सकता है, but it's hard for that person to believe it. It's hard. I think we have to accept, we have to be empathetic to that point of view about the world, that मुझे अगर कोई कहे कि एलियन से दुनिया में अभी कल आने वाला इधर, it's hard for me to believe it. Come on, I won't believe it, right? It's similarly hard for that person to believe that statement कि this पानी में आपको कैंसर हो सकता है, because कल्चर में, लोकल विजडम में, बातों में, फेस्टिवल्स में, बहुत सारी चीजों के साथ पानी जुड़ा हुआ है, और वहां पर कहीं बोलते नहीं है कोई, छोड़ो उनको, डॉक्टर भी नहीं कहता है. कम से कम डॉक्टर तो ये बात कहें. डॉक्टर के पास आई गो टू द डॉक्टर विथ जॉइंट पेन्स, डॉक्टर एक बार तो कह दें कि ये पानी की वजह से हो सकता है. डॉक्टर आर्थराइटिस की गोली में मुझे अगले 20 साल बिता देते हैं. 20 साल, एक बार मैं जाऊं तो 20 साल बिता देते हैं. तो मैं कहां से विश्वास करूं कि ये पानी में प्रॉब्लम है? So it is not in the public sphere is what I'm trying to say. And I have a simple response to it. Because things are not in the public sphere, when technology comes in, when solution comes in, people are quite alien to it. एक्चुअली कुछ ज़्यादा कुछ करना नहीं लोगों को बस इसको समझना है, इसको यूज़ करना है, मेंटेन करना है, और बेसिक चीज़ें करनी है. मगर पब्लिक स्फीयर में है ही नहीं ये बातें, तो आई डोंट नो इट. आई बिलीव व्हाट इज देयर इन द वाइडर थिंग. फॉर एग्जांपल, आई बिलीव इन द मार्केट, आई बिलीव इन द आरओ. आरओ इज नॉट अ टेक्नोलॉजी, आरओ इज अ सिंबल, right? Maybe it is true, maybe it is right what it is pushing in certain contexts, right? But RO is a market push, right? RO लोगों, एक उस पर्सन को, उस लड़की को डायलिसिस जिनका हो रहा है हर 15 दिन ओंगोल में, वो RO पी रही है, not because you and me have told her, it's because market has told her. RO is coming from the market, it's not coming from education or government or anything. That's what I mean to say. I'm not blaming RO or any such thing. I'm just saying that the root of education is different. And that's how I'm seeing it, right? This is the larger sphere that I'm seeing it. It's that it's just very sad कि larger public sphere में ये बातें नहीं है. कुछ और बातें हैं, वो लोगों को जरूरी लगता होगा, मगर ये बातें नहीं है. ऐसे बहुत सारी बातें नहीं है, तो ये बातें भी नहीं है. However, having said that, I feel that if we have to make things work, if we have to get people, लोगों को अगर खींचना है, लोगों की इमेजिनेशन को खींचना है, उस बच्चे की इमेजिनेशन को खींचना है जो कोकोनट से सोच रहे हैं कि कोकोनट स्टेम से मुझे हो रहा है, अगर उस लड़की के इमेजिनेशन को खींचना है जिसको डायलिसिस हो रहा है, अगर उस मदर की इमेजिनेशन को खींचना है जिसके बच्चे को कैंसर हो सकता है, बक्सर में, तब वो ट्रस्टेबल पर्सन से सुनते हैं बातें. मेरे से भला ही सुने या ना सुने, डजंट मैटर, दे शुड एक्चुअली नॉट बिलीव इन मी. वो आशा वर्कर की बात सुनते हैं, वो आंगनवाड़ी वर्कर की बात सुनते हैं, वो टीचर की बात सुनते हैं, और जरूर सुनते हैं काफी चीजों के लिए. तो दैट्स द फर्स्ट पॉइंट आई वांट टू मेक, लाइक हु मैसेजेस, हु टेल्स, एंड उनके पास से काफी सारी बातें जानी है. इट्स नॉट जस्ट सम बिग एड और सम पर्सन हुएवर, राइट? बट उस लेवल पे बातें जाना जरूरी है. दूसरी बातें हैं कि how much can we break down these solutions to a level that it can actually work in these places? Simple solutions. For example, I agree with you, Dr. Suphiya, that biosand filter with iron nails is not the ideal solution for arsenic removal, right? Sludge ka kya hoga and all that. But then how much can you bring your solutions to that level kind of thing, Can there be a handshake between this world and that world? तो कितने हद तक क्या solutions को, वहां तक जा सकते हैं, तो कि लोग खुद भी उसको यूज कर सकते हैं, मेंटेन कर सकते हैं, जब हम सब निकल गए हैं वहां से. And I strongly believe that लोग को बताया जाता है, सीख से सिखाया जाता है genuinely, तो लोग समझने के लिए तैयार है. I believe. I mean, we have not had any failure of that sort. Consistently over time, again and again, बार बार बातें होनी जरूरी है किसी भी तरीके से सही लोगों से, तो लोग समझते हैं. सिंपल बात है. Our experience, we have worked with students in Assam at a very large scale, और करीब 50-60 हज़ार स्टूडेंट्स असम भर में जलदूत बनकर घूमते हैं, और हमको पता है उस उम्र से वो बच्चे जब बातें लोगों को कहते हैं तो लोग विश्वास करते हैं. It has to start early. It has to start from the trustable people. Then any technology will work. But at the core, my point is that what is in the public sphere, it gets attention.
It's really important.
Right? So we need to get this more in the public sphere. It can be the local public sphere. It can be a broader thing also. Yeah. I'll pause here. That's it, Mansi.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
why
you,
with
Sundar.
the
Yeah. Thank you, Sundar. And you really raised a very important point कि इस बारे में people are aware and unaware kind of situation, you know, and conversation is extremely important. Before I open the floor for everyone, I also want to highlight that W4W Foundation is all about water conversation. We are just trying to talk about it. We don't have solutions, but we try to bring people like all of you to find solutions so that water can be discussed day in and out. At least we should spend 70% time of the day talking about water. That's what we aim for at W4W. So we do that. I would like to start with a warming up question, and we have to be very, very now crisp with all the three speakers. Request to not have very long answers, because today we have actually crossed all the limits of time. My researchers are going to really go after me that, ma'am, shorter version, because we have problems in uploading later on after editing. I have a simple question. When we talk about public awareness, because here at W4W, we are trying to create citizen science and asking our eminent speakers and scientists and experts to really tell us in a layperson language. I just want to understand the very basics of when we talk about this whole idea of RO has become a concept actually. When Supreme Court has already told us that it is not required for us to consume RO, and very rightly put up by Sundar, who is conveying the message? Market? Then we are convinced. I just want to understand from you, why are we living in constant anxiety about water toxicity that the first solution which came to us, we are so much into it. It is just like Colgate and Borolene. Not that they are bad products, but every paste is around Colgate and every cream is around Borolene. And likewise, the RO system has become some for us. Are we open about new innovations, and how do you, Suphiya, take new innovations to the masses? As ASHA worker sounds very much doable to me, to be honest. I mean, what's your take on good scientists doing good science and good innovations? Now, how do you reach the last mile? If government
so,
could reach the last mile, we would have solved all the problems so far. What's your take on it, Suphiya?
So in my thinking, thank you so much for asking this question, because we are working in the laboratories as well as we are working in the silos or whatever the technologies we have developed. But as far as we understand, like my understanding, without joining hands with Sundar like people and without joining hands with Mansi, because we cannot reach to the last level. It's impossible to get there. So my idea is to join hands with the NGO, with the different CSR activities, with the people who are working in the water domain and people who are really work in the changing in the behavior of the last users also. And whatever the suppose, for example, we are working on the large scale validation, and this stage itself, like before going into the manufacturing, you can say that we want to talk as much as we can to the customers, so that they can give a lot of their inputs in this, and we can design. So meanwhile, while you are maturing the technology, we are educating the people also. And this in this thing that I need to join heads with various kind of the different people, with different social entrepreneurs also, different NGOs also, different ASHA workers, and join hands with the different ministries also, join hands with the different government bodies also. So with this kind of consortium, you cannot take one single technology to the last users. That's my takeaway. And another thing is that why this, Carl, there are a lot of the business through coming through the only RO, and why this? Because while maturing, you have seen my one of the slide, while maturing the technologies, most of the technologies got failed at the scalable level, and very few technologies reached at that level that are cost effective and at least are passing through all the commercial things. And it's not so very easy. Most of the technologies die at various levels also. So this is also the biggest like obstacle in using the kind of, you are bound to use the RO, you are bound to use the other whatever the scalable solutions are available in the market. And definitely market plays a gimmicks in changing the behavior of the people. They are playing with the psychology of the people, and these are the things that we need simultaneous to educate the people. So only the we need to join hands with each other, that far as I
Absolutely.
understand now. Yes, because without it we cannot solve a single problem.
Absolutely.
And yeah, so end to end अगर हमें जाना है तो आपको एक स्टेज तक मैं लेके जा सकती हूँ, उसके नेक्स्ट स्टेज पे इंडस्ट्री के साथ मुझे ज्वाइन हैंड करना पड़ता है, जैसे मैं श्रीराम के साथ किया है। अब उसके बाद का इनोवेशन के बाद नेक्स्ट स्टेज मुझे दूसरे लोगों से बात करनी पड़ेगी, अदरवाइज ये चेन ऐसी है कि आप वहीं पे रह जाएंगे। और दूसरा कमर्शलाइजेशन की स्टेज में मानसी एक और चीज है कि आपको जितनी भी कमर्शियल टेक्नोलॉजीज मार्केट में ऑलरेडी हैं उसी के पैरेलल या उससे नीचे कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव सॉल्यूशन देना होता है, अदरवाइज वो फिर टेक्नोलॉजी और वो इनोवेशन टिक भी नहीं पाता है। तो कई बार हमें डिस्कवरीज अच्छी मिलती हैं, सब कुछ अच्छा होता है, और वो जो है कॉम्पीट नहीं कर पाता है, कॉम्पीट नहीं
Very
कर
well
पाता।
put. Very well put. An important point you also raised is joining hands. Actually, philosophically, water says water connects. But having worked in the water sector for 30 years, I feel strongly that we have not come that far to connect hands with each other. बचपन में जैसे खेलते थे, एक ईंट एक दूसरे को देते हैं. Even the labor industry still does that in construction when they are joining hands. I think that is extremely important. And another important point which comes out very clear in this conversation is the acceptance and affordability apart from of new technology. And I want to come to Mamta on this because Rachel Carson is also one of my favorites, and it's already 60 years that Silent Spring was there and we are talking about it. But if people are aware of the toxicity they live with, and Sundar also raised an interesting point that farmers are growing their own vegetables and then they are growing for vegetables for others or crops for others. Likewise, I always see with milk happening, this dairy people, they have their milk and the milk that goes to industry is different. How do we really, Mamta, tell people about everyday toxicity and what can they really take care? I mean, if I know that this is toxic, it's not that I will stop eating or drinking everything, Again, I can reduce consumption, but can I reduce toxicity around me? How do I really educate people? I feel somewhere at the end of the day, I'm more getting convinced with every session at Wednesdays for Water and Friday Waters that we are desperately in need of formal water education, not water education happening in silos and in the sidelines. And I'm getting more and more convinced when I talk to experts like you. How do we let people know it's not about even water education, that they have to take care of their health? But if I am too conscious about my health, then I'm not left with eating or drinking anything. I mean, where do I find something which is more balanced? See, Netherlands is claiming that their tap water is better than even the bottled water. Where are we in our country, Mamta?
थैंक्स मानसी, बहुत बड़ा क्वेश्चन पूछा है, सोच रही हूँ कैसे समराइज करूं। तो आई विल स्टार्ट विद फर्स्ट, if they are claiming, we should ask them what is the content of pesticide, because as I told you, there is no place on the earth which doesn't have pesticide. So it might be there as a local population, they might have less quantity of pesticide, but then there's no place. So toxicity is everywhere. Second, any innovation or any science, unless it is applicable, affordable, It has no meaning to us. If I tell a farmer not to use pesticide, I met a lady in Badmer. जैसे गांव में एक बूढ़ी होती है, तो वो एक गांव की बूढ़ी थी और उन्होंने कहा कि हम जीरा उगाते हैं। तो मैंने कहा 2 क्यारियों में उगाते हैं, जैसे सुंदर ने बताया कि एक घर के लिए एक बाहर के लिए। क्या फर्क है भाई, घर वाले में हम दवाई नहीं यूज करते। क्यों भाई? क्योंकि दवाई से शरीर खराब होता है। तो ऐसे तुम सारे में ऐसा क्यों नहीं करती? शी सेड कि अगर मैं ऐसा करूंगी तो बिना दवाई के मेरे होता है 40 किलो जीरा, और दवाई यूज करते तो 40 क्विंटल होता है। तो 40 किलो से 40 क्विंटल का मुआवजा कौन देगा मुझे? So it is, innovation is very much there, but is it applicable? Is it affordable to our cultural practices or to the economy of the country? And what more I can understand from your question is, beggars are no choosers. We have spreaded pesticides so much around us. There's not even a single place to go right now. There's nothing, even your air has pesticides. So there is nothing, no technology as of now which can separate pesticide from anything, whether it is a water or air or a soil or the food or anything. Even our clothes has a pesticide, because dyes we are using, they are also contaminated with OCPs. Having the half-life of 300 years or more, they're everywhere around us. So we can think of using less of them now, but we have no solutions to it that we can stop the use of them. We are also carrying on the burdens which our grandparents have used on the earth.
Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I know I cannot reduce pollution and toxicity, but it also gives me a kind of a spiritual understanding that anyway, if you reduce your consumption, you are better off, because then you are using less things.
Yes,
But
and
jokes
non-vegetarians
apart,
consume more.
yes, jokes apart, coming to the technical side of it and bringing it back to the social norms and traditions, Sundar, I want to ask a question. And if there is any question from anybody in the audience, I'm really overwhelmed with the presence of participation and audience here. Please raise your digital hand. We will take 1 or 2 questions from the audience so that it feels more participatory. I'm just filling up on your behalf because I'm always full of questions as an intriguing child. Sundar, you have traveled all over the country and you had these really interesting ethnographic examples from your work, but I am also aware that you have worked extensively on fluoride and arsenic removal solutions. I just want to understand from you what kind of sustenance you have seen in the solutions which you have taken to people. You can give example from either or both. How long people use those solutions when you have given them or suggested them, and what is the issue that there is a fallout, or they'll move out of the solutions provided on arsenic and fluoride? Why people give it away? Is it the machine? Is it the sustainability? Is it the trust? Or is it go back to your normal? What is the reason why people don't take those innovations more seriously?
इट्स लाइक दिस ना मानसी, अगर मुझे कोई कहे कि रोज मुझे सुबह 5 o'clock को उठना है एंड मुझे 1 घंटा वॉकिंग करना है और मुझे 10 साल के बाद डायबिटीज नहीं होगी, कम
Yes,
ऑन, आई वोंट बी
you just
मोटिवेटेड,
hit the nail.
आई वोंट बी मोटिवेटेड फॉर इट, राइट? तो और तब भी जबकि मुझे सुबह 4 बजे उठ के मेरे नौकरी में जाना है, अगर मेरे ऐसी सिचुएशन है, राइट? माई लाइफ इज ऑन अ प्रायोरिटी ऑफ अ डे टू डे बेसिस. आई एम अ पर्सन हु इज माइग्रेटिंग एंड व्हेन आई कम बैक मेरा नेगेटिव में चला जाता है पैसा. जो मैं पैसा 10,000 कमा के आता हूँ, मेरे गांव तक पहुंचने तक बीच में टाउन में मेरे से पैसा लिया जाता है, और जब तक मैं गांव आता हूँ तब उसके बाद आई एम लिविंग थ्रू एंड गोइंग बैक. दिस इज माय लाइफ. एंड देन विल आई गिव इंपॉर्टेंस टू दिस थिंग ऑफ कि 10% चांस है कैंसर होने की? वैसे भी हो जाएगा कैंसर, वैसे भी हम मरने वाले हैं. सो दीज आर द, so these are the, I mean,
Social norms.
you keep hearing, right? You keep hearing, this reality, of life, back now. उसके अंदर जैसे मैंने कहा, मैं बिलीव भी करता हूँ और हम लोग देखते भी हैं, फिर भी ह्यूमन बीइंग इज सच दैट, देखिए कि कंसंट्रेशन कैंप के अंदर भी लोग बर्थडे मनाते थे,
हाँ.
है ना? तो ऐसा नहीं है, वी हैव लाइक बाउंडेड रैशनैलिटी, राइट? करना ही है मुझे. फिर भी अगर लोग मुझे बताएंगे कि इसमें आर्सेनिक है, तो मैं विश्वास करने के लिए तैयार हूं, मेरे बच्चे को बचाने के लिए तैयार हूं. वो आर्मी में जाएंगे, वो डॉक्टर बनेगी. होप इज नेवर लॉस्ट दैट वे. राइट, मेरी जिंदगी बर्बाद होगी मगर उसकी नहीं होगी, और करते भी है लोग, किया भी है, हमारे आंखों के सामने से किया है. Doesn't matter what is the solution. But thing is that the emotional ownership, mental ownership, the community ownership, right? Have I owned to it? Have I given a priority to it? वो मटका फिल्टर हो सकता है, वो एक सेफ वाटर सोर्स हो सकता है जो डेटा के थ्रू आइडेंटिफाइड है, कलर में मैप्ड है. नन ऑफ दीज आर सिल्वर बुलेट्स, मैजिकल सॉल्यूशंस. नन ऑफ दीज आर, कोई भी नहीं है ना. और वो जैसे कि सिगरेट से मुझे अगर छूटना है तो देयर इज अ रिलैप्स कर्व, राइट. रिलैप्स कर्व है, दुनिया में हर चीज का है ना. खाना, शुगर से लेकर सिगरेट तक, और ये आर्सेनिक पानी तक. सो दैट सेम साइकोलॉजी ऑफ रिलैप्स इज देयर हियर आल्सो. देयर इज नो वंडर. एंड दैट टू, मुझे कोई आशा कार्यकर्ता की लोकल डॉक्टर मुझे बता ही नहीं रही ये शब्द, ये एनजीओ आके बता के चला रहा है बार बार आर्सेनिक. डॉक्टर तो कभी नहीं बताया मुझे आर्सेनिक, तो मैं क्यों विश्वास करूं ये मानसी जी का, राइट. क्यों मैं विश्वास करूं, जबकि स्कैम कितना सारा होता है गांव में, लोग आके सब कुछ बेच के चले जाते हैं. सो इट्स टफ, राइट. इनफैक्ट इट्स अ मिराकल दैट इट कंटिन्यूज. बहुत बड़ी बात है कि कुछ कंटिन्यू होता है बावजूद ये सभी के. तो
बिल्कुल.
तो हमने देखा है कि लोग कंटिन्यू करते हैं. इट्स जस्ट बिकॉज नो ग्रेट थिंग दैट वी और एनीबडी हैज डन. इट्स जस्ट बिकॉज उन्होंने अपने मन में उसको ठान लिया है, समझ लिया है. उसके बाद वो तालाब के पास जाके पानी को खोद कर पानी उठा लेते हैं. वो बगल के गांव में जाकर टैंकर भेज के अपना टंकी भर लेते हैं. वो बरसाती टाइम पे पानी बचा लेते हैं, कहीं तो जाके वाटर फिल्टर कर लेते, कुछ भी कर लेंगे. At any cost they will do it. I will do it because I want to save my, because I want to save my daughter. I want her to become a doctor or something like that, right. मैंने मन में ठान लिया है, right? Only then it works. उसके बाद like whatever solution, right, which is there, तो वो कैसे हो सकता है, वो उसके मन में कैसे हो सकता है. उसके लिए एक ही रास्ता है कि उस जगह पर बार 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 वो बातें होनी चाहिए. वी कैन नॉट फॉरगेट कि फ्लोराइड प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो गया, कि आर्सेनिक सॉल्व हो गया, फ्लोरोसिस सॉल्व हो सकता है, आर्सेनिकोसिस सॉल्व हो सकता है, मगर पानी में फ्लोराइड नहीं जा सकता है, पानी से आर्सेनिक नहीं जा सकता है, पानी से ये पेस्टिसाइड्स भी कभी जाने नहीं वाले हैं, है ना. तो मगर ह्यूमन बीइंग से फ्लोरोसिस जा सकता है, राइट. दैट इज अ बिहेवियर दैट कैन हैपन. बट उस बिहेवियर के लिए आपके मन में वो चीज जाना पड़ेगा. इंडिविजुअल इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल, बट डोंट ब्लेम दैट मदर ओनली. शी इज नॉट द ओनली
Yeah,
पर्सन. वी ऑल हैव टू हेल्प हर, है ना,
it's a
कि
collective
इन
consensus.
कलेक्टिव. उसके लिए सभी को, इट हैज टू कम इन द वाइडर थिंग. इट नीड्स कॉर्पोरेट रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. इट नीड्स कॉर्पोरेट बॉडीज, राइट, हैव टू बी रिस्पॉन्सिबल. और चीजें हुए भी, आई बिलीव. देखिए सीएनजी आया, राइट, और यूरो 3 यूरो 4 नॉर्म्स आए, राइट. We can be as skeptical or cynical about it, but RO membranes have improved over the years. RO ही है वो improve हुआ है, मगर RO membranes today release less water, reject water. They are much better than the RO membranes of 15 years back. Who is pushing this? Someone is doing it. At Supreme Court, NGT, some activist, some innovator, right? Some scientist, some politician, everybody. So there is a circle of doing. There is a circle of action for change. Change is incremental. Change happens over time.
Yes,
Systems have to move.
indeed.
So whatever all of us are doing is of value.
Absolutely. I think before thank you so much, all of you. Before I invite, there are two interesting questions from Pitala, Babu. I will invite you to pose your questions, but before the questions are posed, I would like to also announce this week another session we have on Friday Waters Thesis Club, when we invite postdoctoral scholars or PhD scholars. And this week we are discussing role of gender in water, peace and security on May 16th at 6 to 7 p.m. IST, because our scholar is based in Arizona, and that is why we have changed the time a little bit. Please take note of it. The details are in the chat box for you, and also it will be there on our website. Next Wednesday, like this Wednesday, we have another interesting session coming up, and we are going to listen to the fragile reflections of the Western Ghats, where we are going to talk about life in the Western Ghat ecosystem and talk about some of the rivers of Western Ghat. Would you like to pose your questions? And I request Mamta and Suphiya to take a look at the questions in the chat box, and please be brief on answering them. Pitala, would you like to ask, or they can just take the questions from here? Can you see the questions?
Yeah,
Mamta
I
and
can
Suphiya?
see in
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
present log, this is like In the present agriculture economy world, is it possible for a ban of pesticides and use of fertilizers? And what is the poor farmer? Okay. First of all, thank you so much for asking this question, because we cannot ban the pesticide at any level. We cannot stop, rather ban तो बहुत बड़ी बात बोली आपने, हम बंद ही नहीं कर सकते, कारण the changes we have done. First of all, the जो हमारे soil की हालत है, the status of our soil is not good right now. Without fertilizers, without pesticides, nothing can grow anywhere. This is the one thing. So economy has taken over ecology is the line I want to tell you.
Yes.
And you really want to know the value of money? हाथ में पैसे पकड़िए, गिनिए और कितनी देर अपनी सांस रोक सकते हैं, you'll know the value of air. कोरोना में सब था, दूध, दही, छाछ, खाना सब था, टेक्नोलॉजी थी, इनोवेशन था, सिर्फ ऑक्सीजन नहीं थी. So this is the answer. We cannot stop the use of pesticides. We have no technology to replace them. As of now, only some cultural practices, integrated pest management can help us to reduce the use of pesticides. Farmers are smarter. They know 5 किलो पे पेस्ट मर रहे हैं, तो वो 10 किलो ही डालेंगे, 8 किलो भी नहीं डालेंगे. They'll put the double, because अगर उनकी एक बार फसल खराब हो गई, पूरे साल वो भूखे मरेंगे. There's no one to back them in the economy. Second thing, the poor farmers, I'm just telling you, मैंने आपको अम्मा का केस बताया था. तो economy is very important for the farmers also.
Absolutely.
So this is what my answer goes to you.
Yeah, thank you. Sophia, you have a question on global ecological balance impacts in the collection of atmospheric water harvesting. I also know a friend from Aero Nero who is producing water from air. It's a very interesting machine which a lot of water navigators are using. Sophia, do you have any point on that? Then we will close it up for the day. It's
okay, so this is a question like, what about the global ecological balance impact in the collection of the atmospheric water harvesting? So the answer to this question is like, because these machines are tested in the microclimates zones, and the large scale validation of these technologies under like in the process. Like for example, if they are operating in for a like a room kind of device, or kind like which scales that these machines are using. So for detecting the ecological impact, the scientific interventions still are in the process. And this is a very good question, because whatever the technologies you like the scientists are trying to develop, it should have an ecological as well as various impacts that needs to be studied. And all these things are studied at various levels, that as I have told you, there are the various stages in the technology development, deployment and commercialization stages. And at the commercialization stages, these has to be tested. And I'm one thing I would like to give you the things overview about. As our country, like the Bureau of International Standards and the CPCBs and all, we do not have any very good standards for these kind of the new technologies. What water we can reuse, what are the parameters that can be recycled, and how the people should know that this product or this technology is very good and safer for the environment. So these things are also under the process, and one ecological division has been made and constituted in the Bureau of International Standard also. And people are working on all these aspects to make it sure that our ecology should not be imbalanced.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Sophia. Thank you, Mamta, and thank you, Sundar. Before I close the session.
One last thing, just want to interfere.
No,
I just want to add one more thing.
Yes.
Just go back and Google it. 6 months back, US and all UK and European countries, they've stopped taking fruits and vegetables from us.
Wow.
Because on the investigation, they found that our food and vegetables and these spices, they have lot of contamination of pesticides, and according to them, it is not edible. And we are surviving on them. Maybe we are more stronger human beings. I don't know.
And the new contaminants are emerging day by day.
Yes, the emerging contaminants also.
Emerging contaminants also one of the major threats.
The synergistic effect of many things. You talk of heavy metals, you talk of pesticides, you talk of fertilizers or whatever.
I think we need more session on like this. We did have one session on emerging contaminants, and we would like to have more sessions. Before I close the session, I would like to make two more announcements here. If there are people in this platform right now who are working in the water sector and would like to be speakers, do join us in this campaign on water conversations and write to us. We will be very happy to have host sessions for you, or you can host sessions on our platform. We give you all the background support. And importantly, as a general knowledge for all of us, please make sure that we can at least tell our acquaintances about the Central Pollution Control Board's basic water quality criteria. That also many people don't know. I have seen many good intended people also are unaware of it, where they have a class of water into A, B, C, D, and E. And interestingly, we do, and A stands for the best water, drinking water source without any conventional treatment, which is a utopia. And E, of course, is one of the worst water, and they have these criteria laid out. It's a very simple table which every student, every community member should be aware of. If you can make your acquaintances aware of, I think that's a good beginning for us to start talking about water toxicity. And then, unless and until we understand toxicity, we are still far from treatment, and then we will hold on to our traditional norms and understanding about how things are. And as rightly suggested, not suggested, but said by Sundar, that we have to still develop that skill within our cognitive science, that we can look at life not only from today, but also from the far, but we are more concerned about our career, about life, about children. I think it's good time that we start thinking about everyone's health and also well-being and happiness. Thank you so much, all of you, for making water conversations meaningful at W4W. The more I'm hosting these conversations, I'm getting more convinced that these are extremely important conversations, not only to talk about it, but also to connect like-minded people, build a community, and also reach out to larger people, as we need to talk about water every day, every night, every evening. Thanks, all of you. Please take care. Do join us on Friday Water.
One suggestion last I would
Yeah,
like to
go
give
ahead.
to you, because you are Wednesdays for water, Fridays for water. Please make a very good policy how we can make and join like scientists with the NGOs, with the CSR, and win-win situations. And water policy is highly need of the hour, which addresses these
Absolutely.
things very importantly. So if
Absolutely.
we take
I
care
think
of the interest of each party, and we make a come out to a very good solutions on the on both the benefits and these kind of things, if we can do, that will be a very, very good thing from
absolutely.
like you. Yeah.
Very, very well suggested, Sophia. And I have to try. We have to try. At W4W, I can give a very simple metaphor based on which this foundation was laid out. For us, you all are gems. We are the thread joining all of you together. The thread is never visible. We will try to our best. But at the end, I think we all have to work together. And you know me for quite some time now. We are doing our best to connect all of you. Now, I leave it to all of you. How do you make these connections more useful and also collaborate and make upscale? Because all have good intentions, but we all have boundaries of our scope of work. That also we have to understand. Every individual, every organization cannot do everything. But the least we can do, and that is what we are trying to do at W4W, is that water has connective capacity, and we are trying to actually experiment that connective capacity. You will soon read my article on this aspect, that how connective capacity is extremely important, because 30 years less 4 years, I was also struggling how to connect to water scholars, water practitioners. I don't feel that urge anymore, because I'm connected to so many of you. Although I don't have solutions for anything, but when I listen to you, it is very motivating and inspiration. So please make sure that more and more people listen to you. We are making sure that your voice is heard to larger audience. That's our little contribution we can do, because we don't have problems to tell you through scientific ways. Neither we have any solutions to give to the community. We can only amplify your work. Thanks so much, all of you. Please take care.
Thank you so much, and let's collaborate, let's connect with each other.
Yes, let's connect. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank
everyone.
you so much.
Take care.
Thank
Have
you.
a good
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sundar. Thank you,
Thank you,
Mansi.
everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thanks, everyone.